Super Bomb Survival is a game where you must survive bombs falling from the sky. While starting from bombs, you can use a plethora of abilities, the most useful of which being the movement-based abilities. And today, I'll be ranking every single one of them. While defensive and offensive abilities are mainly used just to hurt those around you, the movement abilities are used mainly just to get away from all the chaos. So that's what we'll be ranking them by how good they are at keeping me alive and away from things that might hurt me. Oh yeah, and quick disclaimer, I will not be ranking the Spooky Jump, Candy Corn, or the Ice Pillar abilities, as they are pretty niche, all things considered, and also I don't own them, as for both of the Halloween type ones, they were only available during a certain event that I'm not waiting to play so I can get those abilities. And Ice Pillar cost Robux, which I'm not handing over to the devs. Number 10, Pickaxe. Pickaxe is pretty simple. You mine the piece of ground closest to you, and there is a small chance that you can get special collectibles. Now the problem with all that is just look at these chances. All that added up is only a 32.3 chance, with instant bombs obviously hurting towards you, although they are pretty rare. But that still means that the other 67.7% of the time, you're gonna not get anything, considering that this has a pretty long cooldown for an ability as bad as this, and it literally isn't even a movement ability. I would see this more likely just being defensive as an ability. It stinks and it gets last place. It's terrible. Next up on the list, we have number 9, Spring. This one, as you would probably expect, just places a spring in front of you, and then you can jump on the spring and it bounces you. The problem with that, it does not bounce you very high at all. Yes, it's about maybe twice the size of a regular jump, but even by that, just equip double jump as your perk. And even then, Super Jump, which is the very first ability you get in the entire game, is better for jumping high than this. And I haven't played with it much because it's terrible, so I haven't gotten it very high in the level department, but still, it stinks because of the cooldown anyway. In very similar vein to number 9, Spring, we have number 8, Truss. This one is incredibly simple. You place down a classic Roblox ladder straight in front of you that you can climb. It's down here for the exact same reason as Spring, being that, again, Super Jump, the very first ability in the game, is better at doing its job of getting high quickly. That is better than this, because it can be blown up for obvious reasons. It's annoying for obvious reasons. It can get blown up because it's a platform. And finally, it just doesn't send you very high. I just don't understand the point of this. But yeah, and also a weird attribute about it is that it sort of just stays there. It just doesn't really care about gravity whatsoever. The only reason that it's not tied in last place, which, obviously it's a list, you can't do that, but it is above Spring because it's actually pretty good whenever you supercharge it. Not only does it float into the air for some reason, giving it about an extra 2 units of height, but also it becomes way longer. So supercharged, it's very, very viable, but it still stinks because this is mainly going off of just the base game abilities. Next up, in number 7, we have Dive. Now this one is definitely just there because it's funny, and it definitely does a good job of being funny. It is by far the best ability in the entire game at getting horizontal distance quickly. However, that's all it's good for, being funny and getting horizontal distance. As soon as you even mention vertical distance, this thing sort of just stops working. However, because it has an insanely short cooldown of only 5 seconds, and being pretty viable for a joke ability, it definitely deserves to get number 6 because of just how good it is as a joke. Next up in the list, we have Super Dash. This one is one of the more basic abilities. It basically just gives you a cool lightning trail and also makes you move way faster. I haven't even gotten this to max level as far as I'm even aware, and it is still extremely cool to me. I mean, it's just the pure prospect of going fast, like really, really fast in a game like this. It's just really satisfying to me for no reason at all. It just is satisfying to watch the character go zoomy pow pow, and it's just an overall fun ability to use. However, again, like most of the other ones down here, it's really, really bad at getting vertical distance, which is something you usually want in an ability like this, as your character by itself, and most likely your perk, will already have the whole, horizontal distance thing down. Next up, we have number 5, Warp. This one is extremely simple. You place down a point anywhere on the map that you want, and then you can teleport back to it later. The problem with that? Well, A, after you use it, the ability is on cooldown and the point that you just teleport to is gone. So if you fall down into a small cave again, you cannot teleport back to the warp point because guess what? It's not there anymore. So now you're stuck with no good vertical abilities, stuck at the bottom of the map and praying for your life that you don't just die from lava or anything. And then the other main problem with this ability is that you can't see into the future. That might seem like a stupid thing to say, especially when talking about a game about surviving against bombs, but think about it rationally. When you place down the ability, you don't know how the area surrounding it will look by the time that you need to use it. For all you know, there could be a huge lava geyser or just a nuke sort of sitting right next to it, and then when you teleport away, thinking, oh yeah, I'll be safe from using this because otherwise I'm about to die. You might just die anyway. So that's why it does not deserve any place higher than number 5. Number 4, Platform. This one, as the name would suggest, creates a platform beneath you. It floats there and only goes away when it either takes too long and cracks then breaks, or it gets blown up too much where it cracks and then breaks. Because of the campy playstyle, you're basically begging for peepers, the eyeball bomb, and the homing rockets to just attack you a ton. And again, which I've said to way too many abilities at this point, it's literally just super jump, but worse. I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought I was gonna put number 2, Bubble Ride, way lower than second place. I mean, it's an extremely simple concept. You go inside of a bubble and then you ride inside of the bubble. This is possible without using the ability by using the ability just from a bubble bomb, which, definitely hurts this a bit, but I don't think it's, even without that, it would still probably not be in second place. I think that it is just an extremely cool ability, and it also has the side effect of making you practically invincible during its entire duration. And another thing is that if your Wi-Fi just stinks for some reason, whenever you're using this, instead of actually having you have the bubble properties where you cannot move very well, you just have no gravity. Like, you can just jump as far as you want, and when you hit the ceiling of the map, you'll just go back down, and it's super cool. And as you can see, yes, you're practically invincible. So without me really having to say anything bad about it, besides that you have no control, that, while you're in this current state, you have no control of what you're actually doing. So for having a few minor setbacks, but still being an incredible contender and ability, this will get second place. Next up, we have second place, the long-awaited second place. Get up here, we have Super Jump. Now, considering this is the start ability in the game, yes, you get this along with Bomb as soon as you start the game. I shouldn't have to explain exactly what it does, but for the slow kids in the back, let me quickly explain. It's like Jump, but more. Higher, longer duration, and a unfortunate 20-second cooldown. But even with the 20-second cooldown negative, it is still extremely good at just getting vertical momentum, which I've said a lot already is not very well covered by your base character. So I can't really talk a lot more about this one. There's no tech, there's no glitches. It's just simple, and simplicity is all you really need in this ability's case. The amount of times I've been stuck beneath the earth with a terrible ability, just begging, please, can I please have super jump so I can get out of here? You know, I'm not audibly begging, and I'm not really caring that much. But I would definitely prefer it. I would just love to have super jump in every single match I go into, even if I'm not specifically trying to use it. So for being an incredibly simple, yet still extremely effective ability, super jump will take second place. And with that go, we have number 1, the final ability on this list, Hover, or as I will be referring to it as, Helicopter. Now this one is incredibly simple. You basically stick out your arms and have them rotate extremely quickly so that you basically become a self-propelling helicopter. Why is this incredible? Because while it doesn't exactly do very well in the exact vertical distance department, that's not what this is made for. It's made for horizontal distance. Now, you're probably wondering, why on earth would this be made for horizontal distance? I mean, you've been putting a bunch of other horizontal distance oriented abilities in really, really low places, so how come this one's better? Well, it's the same reason that Bubble is so high up. It's incredibly good because it can fly. Now, as you can see right now, I would love to cancel it immediately to get the invincibility, but however, you cannot cancel immediately. But still, even without the cancel ability, it's still an incredible ability that is just great for getting distance. Now, as somebody who likes to play on more difficult game modes, I know that it might be shocking to you, but it's actually really nice to be able to hover, because surprisingly large amounts of the time, the entire map will just be destroyed. There's like 3 pieces of land left, but everything else is just lava. It's incredibly nice and rewarding when you're trying to get away from the chasing rockets to just be able to fly. Now this is a pretty good mix when you're also combining air dash into the mix, and the only negative about this thing is the cooldown. But in case you're wondering why I put super jump so high, I really do not care much about the cooldown. And I, as you just saw, am not going for the super juice because I'm not really going off of the super juice. However, as you can see, well, you can't see, but just trust me on this one, super juice helps you fill the niche of going vertically, as it makes the ability much more vertically oriented while also having the horizontal distance fully covered. So, for being an incredible ability through and through, that is why Hover will take number 1 spot on the Super Bomb Survival Ability tier list thing. Hey guys, sorry if there are any weird audio things going on in this video. I was recording the beginning part of this video, like, you know, the first 5 or 6 abilities, while my dad was out mowing the lawn, and also the fan was on. I don't get fans. I actually highly dislike fans. Fight me about it in the comments. I don't really even care. So yeah, that's the movement ability ranking. I really don't think I'm gonna make this into a series where I rank all the different ability types, such as defensive and offensive, on top of this, because defensive and offensive abilities stink. There's like 1 or 2 that are like mid in those, but all of them stink because for some reason even the defensive abilities are oriented towards dealing damage. Yeah, I don't know either. So I'm just telling you, I don't understand. I'm not gonna make any defensive ability rankings. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I hope you enjoyed. Hit subscribe, like, notify, save and watch later, add to playlist, and more below the video. Hit the white subscribe button because it's white. I don't know how long it's been like that. And I'll see you eventually. I don't know when I'm going to upload again. Okay, bye.